The Rap Roundtable.
Yes, another Monday on deck. Y'all know what it is. Rap Roundtable, the best live stream on a Monday in hip hop. It's us. It's not our words. Y'all told us this. Mondays is where everyone wants to be at the Rap Roundtable. They pull up to our lunch table. They lock in, and we are glad to have y'all. Shout out to everyone who's already in the chat, excited. Shout out to Cam Kobe with the pre-show super chat. Much
Salute.
love, honor,
that.
and respect. It's your boy Jov here, alongside Sincere Rap Snob,
What up?
alongside Deanie the Balance.
Yep.
Mesita will be with us shortly. So let's lock into it. I mean, we don't really got to talk too much. Hit the like button. We need about 500 likes on every video. The new roundtablemerch.com is on the way. You see the cloth certified tees. We are definitely promoting those. I think episode is at 127, Sincere, coming this week.
126.
126 coming this week. The guys are modeling the t-shirts at 126 as well. So make sure you tap into that. We got a lot of things moving, but most importantly, hit the like button, hit the subscribe option, hit the notification bell, lock into all things Rap Roundtable. The Kendrick Lamar Clipse verse has leaked.
But
Yes,
real quick, hold on before we get into it. Just big
right.
big shouts to Mass Appeal. You know what I mean?
Salute.
Big shouts to Nas. He was in the building with them last week, Wednesday. That night
Resort
was a
World.
movie. Beautiful
I mean,
night.
we gotta stop the leading to do that, nigga. Like we could have shouted them out later.
It was an event. I wish you was there, Job. I know you was on well-deserved vacation.
Dini's about to dip out, so you know what I mean. Like
we could take 2 minutes real quick and just delve this out.
Damn, I'm getting my double dutch on. He done put his foot in the rope and I tripping.
Like it was. I really like. Me and Sim was talking about it all night. We really wish y'all niggas was there, bro. The energy, palpable, bro.
Can I be truthful with y'all?
Yeah,
like 100%
yeah.
truthful?
Talk to us.
I'm kind of glad I wasn't there. It has nothing to do with that. If I was there, I would have made it my business to find you know who that night. I ain't gonna call no names. But I was gonna try to find that person. That would have been
was it hard to find?
Because they were there.
Was it hard to find?
Had to be.
You know what I mean? But I digress. Oh, Messi, is that Mesito? Is that Mesito's music?
Music.
Perfect.
Oh man, we got the quadrant here.
Mesito.
Yeah. Yes. New Kenny leaks.
We in there.
I get the sense that this was not part of the rollout, and I got a lot to say about rollouts later in this live because the link that you shared, Sid, when I went back to it, got deleted.
Gone?
And then I saw y'all was talking about in the group chat that I don't want to spoil. We'll get into it. The Kenny and Kendrick collaboration has leaked. Kenny's talking that talk. Sincere the Rap Snob, the floor is yours.
Listen, man. I don't know what more proof you need to know that this is the definitive dot era. You know what I mean? As soloists go, it's all dot. Like whoever's in second place is in a far second at this point. You know what I mean? And we're gonna talk. And whoever's in second place right now, if you still think that guy's in second place, we're gonna talk about him later on. You know what I mean? He's got a lot of explaining to do right now. You know what I mean? But Kendrick Lamar, as far as soloists go, it's his era. This verse that he that has leaked, that part of it has leaked. He's just there's a certain energy, there's a certain frequency that he seems to be you know what I mean, flowing through right now. There's a certain, you know, there's a certain cosmic sort of force that you feel every time that he puts something out. Every time you see him, every time he drops a verse, every time he makes an appearance somewhere, when he's at a show, like there's just so much just energy around him. I don't know what better word to use other than this, you know what I mean, championship energy. You know what I mean? There's no other person that's fucking with him right now. This verse, even though we've only heard like a very short snippet of it, it has everything. You know what I mean? It has flow. It has the alliteration. It has the bars. It has the imagery. It has, and more than anything, more important than anything, it has that, you know what I mean, that stamp of nobody's fucking with me right now. You know what I mean? It's just I can't wait. Like I'm geeked right now. Like literally when I heard the snippet, the first thing that I thought about was like back in the day when you know what I mean, when you used to hear a record on like Flex or some DJ show on the radio, and they would only play like a really short snippet of it, and you caught it on tape, and then you would run the tape, that little snippet that you would get on the recording, you would run that tape back over and over and over again. You don't have the full verse, let alone the full song, but that little snippet is just enough to really get you excited about this shit, man. And that's the thing about Kendrick Lamar. Like for us, for our ilk, he's getting shit popping, man. He's making shit exciting again. And him along with the Clipse, who's also of that ilk, Pusha T, No Malice, like this is gonna be one for the ages, man. This is gonna be one of them collabs that's gonna break everything. I'm telling you.
Tone has been set.
Big talk.
Deanie the balance. What's the word, man?
Like fire ass verse. Sin summed up really well. It's definitely rapping with purpose. Felt the bar like there's an attack, but there's not an attack in the verse. Like he's definitely throwing jabs, but the litigation side will have to work really hard to kind of like break down these jabs. It's not specific as far as he's saying his name right then, but the gentrification call out. You know what I'm saying? The talking about I recovered from therapy and it taught me not to give a fuck about nothing. Like it's all a culmination of what's going on with Drake, and these guys' names are gonna collaborate for like the rest of their lives. They're attached together now, like how Jay and Nas is attached. I think he's spitting. I actually really like the verse. I think he did a great attack without having to specifically fall into the trap of saying, hey, he's talking about Drake. It's more like you got to know kind of thing, which I think is dope. Bars there. I actually like the beat. I really want to hear the full song because the little snippet of the beat sounds dope. It kind of reminds me a little teeny bit of damn, what's that shit with Hove?
No Church in a While.
There you go. Bingo. My nigga Mace, appreciate you. So it gives me that vibe. And you remember how they were spitting on that. So it was just the energy, the vibe. But the only thing that had me thinking is this is a great verse. But was this a get dropped off the label verse though?
Yes.
I mean,
absolutely. 100%.
But what reason would Def Jam have to be mad at this verse?
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that Def Jam had a legitimate reason to be upset with the verse. I'm saying if Def Jam did in fact have an issue with the verse, and they did in fact say, yo, y'all gotta take that verse off. From what I've already heard, if I'm Clipse, not taking that off, bro. Absolutely not. You heard how he was spitting on there? I'm sure
when you look at how the whole situation is, I'm sure they kind of wanted to get off the label anyway, bro. And it makes sense that they got bought out by Hove, which is exceptional. I think that's what they need to be. But like, and I'm talking about in terms of just like the bars and just like kind of like getting kicked out of your job. It just kind of, it's a good verse though. I love the verse. It's a great verse.
The fact that he's addressing like we got to get motherfuckers out here because this shit is getting gentrified.
Yeah,
like,
that was dope. I love that bar.
That's the line. The line has been drawn. You know what I mean? And somebody in the chat said aura. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah. The energy.
And he got that aura, man.
I respect it.
Mesito.
I like it. Good opinions, fellas. Listen, I am really feeling this partial verse. That's the thing. We can't really debate like why did he get dropped for this verse? What is he saying? Because the verse clearly gets chopped mid word. You know what I mean? He could go for another 16, 20, 24 bars. We don't know. Like it might get way crazier than this. And that's why I kind of like the verse, because just like Sin said, it kind of give you that, Sin got the radio, salute to my older brother. For me, it's mixtapes. You know what I'm saying? Like the little mixtape snippets. You know what I mean?
The struggle,
right there at you know what I mean? They just, they just give you one verse out of the whole song because the song is so high. They give me those type of vibes, the mid 2000s, you know what I mean? Type of, highlight verse mixtape runs. Kendrick, we have to give him his flowers first of all, right? Nothing about this verse is not living up to the hype, right? That's what you get worried about most in this era. Is something gonna reach the hype? Is something gonna do what they say it's gonna do? We've seen it fail so many times, right? Even with our favorites, right? So to be hearing about this verse, getting this verse alluded to, hearing, you know, wondering if they got him waiting a year to record the verse, like all of that to hear Kendrick on there. Shouts to Rob Markman. He called this a State of the Union type verse. I see what he was saying with there now. You know what I'm saying? Salute to him. You know, a few people had already heard this in listening parties and such. I can't get mad at great rap, y'all. I get where the allegiances lie, you know what I mean? And though they may not be as fair to me, I'm gonna be fair and say you gotta love great rap at the end of the day. Kendrick is it's like a certain type of pocket where the artistry reaches the fact that you just know you like cannot be touched
That nigga.
money wise and sales wise. Like it's a certain, let's like you say, a certain aura that all comes together. There's only a few niggas in history that have been rapping. Even if I'm not saying lyrically, don't get mad 90s guys. I'm not saying lyrically, but just like all of it together, right? Like a rapper.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
No,
saying?
but
Like,
say,
like
but say
02
lyrically.
like
The total package. Pause.
he
Yeah.
founded in 03.
Listen.
He just founded on top of the fucking world, bro. Whether you like what he said or not. That's what Kendrick is giving me right now. Pause. I like the verse. Like what down to what Deanie said. Listen, the it's only half a verse, and is it worth getting dropped? Listen, for the sake of artistry, if they tell you not to release a Soulja Boy verse on your album, you need to just tell the label I'm not fucking with it. That's how I personally feel. You know what I mean? The Kendrick part, any label tell you can't put that guy's verse, you should be walking out the door if you have the money or the power or the allies to do so. So the Clipse did the right thing. No matter if the verse was ass, they did the right thing. You know what I'm saying? But listen, this is what everybody is saying, right? This is, you know, I get people get mad, the real rap, you know, real rap is coming back. But when you hear some shit like this, you get where niggas is coming from. Because in the last 5, 6, 7 years, we don't hear this on a mainstream level. You know what I mean? Something that we want to hear, and then you hear literary devices, multis, you know what I mean? Punchlines, motherfucking, you know what I mean? He's delivering a verse that's speaking to you, but using the lyricism, literary devices at the same time. Like, you got to know what you're listening to when you're listening to rap like this. So I appreciated it, bro. You know, at the end of the day, you know, if you know that we gonna speak about this, that, and the third, you know, about it. But as a fan of hip hop, first and foremost, Rap Roundtable, like, share, and subscribe. I loved it, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm like, yeah, this is the type of shit. You know what I mean? This is the type of shit I like, bro.
Geek, man.
Absolutely, 110%. The type of shit that we like, and you know, I'm surprised Sincere didn't do it, but I'm not above doing it. I'm gonna take a victory lap for this here podcast.
Oh, absolutely.
Because Kendrick talking about rap getting gentrified, and you know, Mesito talking about the alliteration and how things are getting positioned in a certain type of a way. We've been telling y'all, well, not even y'all so much, because a lot of y'all just got here maybe within the last, let's say, 2 years, 18 months, right? We've been talking about this particular moment in rap, since 2019 when we put the mics on for fuck that. Since 2018 when we had the preseason games before we decided to make this a full-time thing. We've been talking about this. Our weakness has always, as a podcast, been us being willing to sound crazy because we have foresight with this shit. And a lot of times niggas tell us we sound stupid or we don't know what we're talking about because we see things ahead of time, you know? So to see Kendrick first at the Super Bowl interview with Ebro talk about things that we've been talking about, to now him rapping about things that we've been talking about, I love to hear it. I love to, you know what? Don't put it on wax. I like that Def Jam tried to block this verse because it just speaks to the fact that there's a certain thing that they have been trying to block for quite a long time, because he's not talking about Drake. This is pre-beef. This is before he decided to put the cape on and essentially save, in his opinion, save rap from the gentrifiers. He was just talking about the state of rap. Right. In fact, you could say he was doing what Jay-Z used to do. I'm going to look around the space, see what the fuck going on, and rap about it. The difference is Kendrick is very aggressive. And we go back to the Pusha T thing that we talked about 2-3 years ago, where certain people at the highest levels of Universal had an agreement with that light-skinned boy that Pusha T can't get no wins. Pusha T's not allowed any wins. Jay-Z could get on a neck and wrist because no one can tell Jay-Z what to do. But everybody else who's under that thumb, Uncle Lucian and company, prior to the beef, right? you can't get next to Pusha T. Because there's no reason to block this verse besides the fact that it's Kendrick fucking Lamar giving Pusha T and his brother a verse. And chances are, just based on how old the song was, if memory serves me right, we were hearing this song before there was even an official Clipse album. And now, am I tripping? Was this a Pusha T song verse?
You definitely not tripping. But I actually have half a mind to think that even if Kendrick was originally on the song, I think the verse has been rewritten or redone.
Rewritten, been touched up?
Yeah, touched up
so,
over time.
For the
I don't
time.
think this was the complete original verse.
Well, guess what? You might be right, but I'm willing to be willfully ignorant in this moment and say that was the verse. Just for the sake of argument. Right? You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
For y'all to block this verse, y'all
Crazy.
just exposing yourself. If you a black man on Def Jam and you rapidy rap, everybody need to get up off of Def Jam right now. Because they making it clear that's not what they want. They want motherfucking LaMelo Ball. That's what they want. They want low calorie, high carb, quick eats. They want the $5 the McDeal that they got now. They don't want you to go to the fucking steakhouse, work the Dini, and get yourself a good plate of food. They want the fastest shit, the most quickly digestible. You ate it and you hungry right again. They
Biggie
don't want
bags, y'all.
They don't right. And shit. And I love me a Biggie bag, but still, it's a Biggie bag. They want you to be hungry again for more bullshit. Because there was no reason to block this verse. There was no overt Drake disses. In fact, there were no overt disses. There was cultural commentary with high level, borderline, or dare I say, expert level rapping. For the niggas who say that Kendrick don't got bars, he talking to them too. You know what I mean? Because he barred up on this shit. So for the half a verse, and maybe the shit that we don't hear, maybe there's some disses to Mace's point. But based on what I heard, Def Jam, you look fucking stupid. Quite frankly, it doesn't surprise me that this leak comes out after poor Dave East gets a flicking up a hole. Don't be surprised if Dave gets off next. All these guys is looking around like, we want to rap. We see what Kendrick doing out west.
Shout out to Dave, man.
We see what Joey Badass did for the culture. And things, it wasn't just it wasn't like when Griselda was popping and it was kind of niche. Everybody was talking about this shit. And all the niggas is looking around like, we want to rap. We are tired of being held hostage while the CIA keeps trying to push out artists and the people don't want it no more. Fucking Lizzo trying to rap. Nothing is catching on. Literally nothing's catching on.
Yeah.
Let the rappers rap again. That's the new slogan. Let the rappers rap again. If you want to label you held hostage while they put out bullshit after bullshit that's not catching on, Sexy Red didn't Sexy Red put out a record with somebody else out for day? Some other bogus rapper, am I mistaken? I saw something like the week before last.
Man.
She did. I blocked it out. So
right.
Yeah.
But the fact is, what's catching on, y'all? Nothing. None of these guys can catch on right now. The fucking Lizzo got all her rolls out. I mean, she lost weight. Credit where it's due. But she wearing a ski mask with the fucking bathing suit, trying to go viral.
With the
not
bathing
happening.
suit.
She tried to drop another song. Not happening. Sexy Red. Not happening. Cardi just dropped. I hate to put the CIA on Cardi, but you know what I mean? I'm sorry, Cardi. It's not happening. Central C. It was Central C and fucking Sexy Red.
There you go.
Yeah, Central C. That's what it is.
It's not even
Central C, top 5 rapper.
It's not even popping on fucking TikTok. Nothing is moving right now. Let the rappers rap again. I'm getting off the podium. Sincere, the floor is yours.
Look, I feel like I just fully realized what it is exactly about this verse that struck me the way that it did, or at least like the snippet of it that I was able to hear. And I can only imagine what the rest of this verse sounds like. And I don't want to wax too poetic about it. I don't want to get too overhyped about it. But he's like, y'all know in the Marvel universe, y'all know the Observer?
Yeah.
This motherfucker's rapping like the Observer, bro. This motherfucker is rapping like he sees
You mean the Watcher?
The Watcher.
The Watcher?
The Watcher.
The Observer? I thought
The
it was
bald
from
nigga.
What If?
The bald nigga, yeah.
The bald
The Watcher.
Yeah, the Watcher. The Watcher. So this motherfucker's rapping like the Watcher, like he's overseeing everything, like he sees all the events happening, like he's seeing all the timelines, and he's addressing every single aspect of the game that needs to be addressed, and he's not shying away from it. And the fact that one of the first things he says in the verse, or at least in the part of the verse that we heard, was that he's not down with the kumbaya shit. And that to me, like, you can take it one or two ways. Like, you can take it as, oh, he's you know what I mean, he's he's not down to be friends, he's not down to like collab, he's not down to like just be friendly with motherfuckers. But to me, like, I'm taking that as like, I'm not, like, if I don't fuck with you, I'm not gonna front like I fuck with you. And there's a lot of people and a lot of aspects of the game that he does not fuck with, and he's looking at the game like, nah, I don't fuck with you because you're on that bullshit type of time. I don't fuck with you because you are aligning with the bullshit. I don't fuck with you because you thought you claim to have some integrity, but then when I look, you aligning with the bullshit. And that's what I'm getting from this verse and from everything that Kendrick's been doing as of late, is just not necessarily doing shit just because you gotta be nice, or you gotta play the game, or you gotta flick it up with dudes, or you gotta just be on this kumbaya shit in the industry just for the sake of keeping the status quo and keeping shit friendly. No, fuck that shit. Like, this shit has always been it's always been a sport, it's always been competitive, and I'm gonna keep that same type of energy. And if I don't fuck with you, I'm gonna tell you I don't fuck with you. Maybe not directly, but you're gonna know by the shit that I say. If the shoe fits, if it sounds like I'm talking about you, then I'm probably talking about you. And you got to get the fuck out of here, because you diluting the game and fucking shit up for the real heads and the motherfuckers of the cloth that really care about this culture. You know what I mean? Kenny, nobody's doing that like Kenny right now, bro.
That's a fact. Deanie, we know you got to slide. What's your last words before you dip off, bro?
Like, we talked about this last time, where I mentioned the whole what Kenny, like, the disappointment Kenny got with like the fans, because like you just said, Sam, like, we pointed out all the fuckery going on in the culture, but the fans buy into that. You know what I'm saying? Like, those guys couldn't keep doing that if the fans wasn't fucking with that. So I always wonder if Kendrick kind of low key look at the fans like, granted, I love these people because they make me who I am, but damn, they fell for this bullshit for so long.
Same thing.
Yeah, and absolutely. Also when he said he said the kumbaya drink, I didn't think he took it as, I don't want to like get around other people and kind of like kumbaya could be taken as that, or kumbaya could be taken as whatever issues I have, there is no peace. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to piece nothing up. I don't want to rehash nothing. I don't want to fix any broken bonds. Like, if I don't fuck with you, like you said, fuck you. That's why I felt that could have been like a Drake line. I felt like that was a Drake line, to be honest. Like, he did it very subtly, like all through the song. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if there's people that's saying like, yo, you had your foot on his neck for a year and change now, bro. Like, just be easy. But he's like, nah, like, that's not, give it up. I want pure destruction.
I'm looking at the bar right now. I don't fuck with the kumbaya shit. All the talent must be God sent. You know what I mean? And so that's why I feel like he's saying, like, I'm not gonna
touche.
I'm not just gonna fuck with you just because you're in the industry. You're
nice.
And you're making some records.
You gotta be nice.
You gotta be nice. You gotta have that God sent talent and gift. You know what I mean? And if you don't, I gotta get you the fuck out of here.
What's your thoughts, bro?
Love it.
And that's, while complimenting the verse, I have to say that's why you got to give Kendrick credit, because he is playing the game so well. At the end of the day, right? He does say that. He does say he wants us to rap, we do this, but he is also smart enough to get on a Playboy Cardi album and give you 3 verses, because the game is the game at the end of the day. No matter what they telling you, the game is the game. You got to stay relevant. So he's in these teenage Gen Z, he's in those speakers, he's in those headphones, you know what I'm saying? He's also in our headphones, right? He's also in our algorithm. So he is playing the game. Let's stop it there. But he's playing the game great. He's playing it fantastic. He's playing it better than anybody that's playing it right now, with the talent to back it up at the end of the day.
His way.
For sure. And there is a game to be played. And it's like, I'd rather him do it in our face, pause, fucking yo, than try to insult our intelligence. You know what I mean?
Jeez.
I'm
that one snuck through.
I'm disappointed in myself, quite frankly. But the fact is, I'd rather him do it this way than try to play it as if he's not, or try to play coy, or have his fan base try to pretend as if we don't see this man grifting. like Aubrey does. More of that later in this stream as well. Like he's doing everything he's supposed to do while also telling you, bro, if you got a skill set, bring that to the table or move out the way. That's all we want. And it's quality shit. Like it can't, you know what? There's room for everything. Because you can have your fast food shit, but if you want the 4-star Michelin dinner,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Look, can we get that too? It can't just be so much of the same thing to where we had a year like it was with Hip Hop 50, where it was so terrible that we was all looking around, yo, what the fuck is going on? Why is this year so bad? Because let's not forget, before shit took off, Hip Hop 50 was a very dry year for rap. And the people who were, in fact, breaking through were pretty terrible. So, you know, we need to have room for everyone. And again, all right, I'm willing to take the strike for this. Chat, bear with me. If there's going to be an Aubrey and whatever he brings to the table, there needs to be a Kendrick. There's room in this world, in my opinion, for them both to coexist to where we can flock to whatever the Kendricks and the people of that ilk are providing to the table. And then the Drake fans can flock to whatever those people of that ilk are bringing to the table. We don't even have to coexist, you know? That's the word. Because to me, Drake being the sole proprietor at the top, that was bad for business as far as culture goes. It might have been making a lot of money. It might have moved the units. But the art form of rap was too bastardized to where you got niggas like what's homie name that I hate so much? I can't Yachty. Like Drake giving Yachty or putting Yachty in position to be a person or a curator of culture. That's disgusting. Crazy. Kendrick would never. Kendrick might give you some. He might give you some verses, but he's not gonna have you curate his album and then have you speak on his behalf in a fucking interview like you're him. While putting out some of the worst rap consistently, time in and time out. The most we might get is a Baby Keem from a Kendrick. No shots at Baby Keem, but he's not Kendrick. And in my opinion, he's good. He's all right, but he's not like great. You get what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at with this. We need balance. We need people at the top like Kendrick instead of punching down and keeping people away like Aubrey does from time to time. Bring up all these other nice niggas. Let's have a nice nigga convention. That's all I'm asking for.
Make some music.
But the thing is, I think that we even like. Yes, for us, I would say yes, Jav. But I think that we're starting to look at Kendrick even wrong because does Kendrick provide a balance or is Kendrick the balance himself? Because Kendrick can make a hot song with Baby Keem. He can make a hot song with Pusha T. He can make a hot song with Kodak Black. Like Kendrick himself is showing that he kind of, you know, he don't have to offer the balance and Drake be the other side of the balance. He's kind of the one-man version of that. He's kind of proven that this year.
That's a fact. Yo, Marquise, I just got a text from my guy, Marquise. He watching the stream. Yo, I know I said something crazy. I hated it as soon as I said it. Leave me alone. You don't got to text me on the side, Mark.
Yo. that's what I call being locked in, bro.
Yo, Didi, you here with us or what, bro?
Nah, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. I just want to say shout out to you guys, Cooking Jar. We happy to have you back. 836 in the chat. Each and every one of y'all, yo. If y'all could just give a like, show some love, man. These boys is cooking right now. 836. Get them likes up. Keep cooking. Monday Night Raw. Stay tuned, y'all. I'm out of here. I'll talk to y'all later, gang.
Enjoy it, Dini.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Back to the vibes while Dini dips off. I don't know. Should we hit BTG? Should we get Baylor's opinion? I don't know. I'll think about it. He'll come through and try to box everybody out real quick. You know what I mean? Yo, BTG was good, man. But yeah, I like that, and I want to be clear too. I don't want to make this a situation where we acting as if like this is mass exodus for lyricism and shit, because it ain't really happened yet. But I do like the fact that there's a choice being made by the public, because rap hasn't fully leaned into one thing. To me, the rest of 2025 is a big question mark as far as the silence go, because you have guys like Lloyd Banks putting out projects. You got the CIA niggas trying to get through, but I feel like no one outside of Kendrick has truly broken through yet. So I think we're at a bit of a fork in the road as far as what the future is for rap. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
Part of that, Cook, say my fault.
No, go ahead, Mace.
No, I was gonna say part of that is even kind of adds to what I was saying. Like Kendrick has so much versatility that thinking that, you know what I'm saying? Like if you love Kendrick and he offers high lyricism, so you listen to another artist, they might not offer half as much as Kendrick is offering on the total level. So it might be difficult, right? You know what I'm saying? Like He made Luther's damn near melodies, right? I'm like, God damn. You know?
Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing. But some people was mad at me at my my little take on what was that 125. But yeah, I mean, Kendrick is Kendrick. He really the one right now. If you're looking beyond Kendrick, I mean, I kind of isolated the West Coast a little bit, just just to be a dickhead. But but even like all coasts, all areas, like beyond Kendrick, like what shit? Let's say he retired. He chooses not that he's anywhere close to retiring, but let's say he chooses to retire. Like who's gonna take up the mantle? And I think that's what Kendrick is trying to do right now. I think he's very well aware of the fact that he can't do this forever, and nor does he probably want to do this forever. You know what I mean? So like, he's trying to spark that fire in the next artist to take the mantle, and take that torch and run with it. But so you know what I mean? Like Kendrick, he knows his responsibility in this is to reset the game, and he's doing a remarkable job single-handedly. You know what I mean? As far as the mainstream is concerned, I don't want nobody to get upset about like, oh, but the underground and blah blah. Like
that's what I mean on a mainstream scale.
We cover the underground like extensively. You know what I mean? But on the mainstream level, he's the one that has decided I'm gonna take on this responsibility and put that shit on my back. And if it breaks me, it breaks me. But somebody got to do it, or else, like, you know what I mean? The gentrifiers are going to take over, and they're going to win. You know what I mean? And he's saying this shit is not going to happen on my watch, yo. Absolutely not. Like, he's going to do everything in his power to try to stop that from happening.
That's a fact. And I think what we saw with Joey Badass, and I think based on what we heard towards the end of that nice moment, is that he has a project dropping, I think, in the third quarter this year, early third quarter, that the competitive space is gonna make it so that if anyone wants to compete, they're gonna get some light. The competition gets the light, and I think it also breeds quality music. So I'd rather it be this way for the rapidy rap dudes, because we know the mainstream guys, we know the games they play. They're gonna go to TikTok, they're gonna do a melody, it's gonna get some traction. Some girls are gonna shake ass on the socials. They drop a video, the rest is history. Get a little IG caption or a TikTok whatever the social medias are. You know what I mean? That's how it's gonna go. But on the rapidy rap side of the mainstream, competition is gonna create conversation, and the conversation usually leads to good music. Some of our favorite rappers put out some of their best shit when they was beefing with some other nigga. So right. I want to hear that. So
Drake included.
Of course. I want to live in a world where the competitive landscape of the rapidy rap niggas gets them some mainstream light, and we get some music out of it. Everybody's not going to go quadrillion times platinum and all of that. But as long as they're in the conversation to where the next wave of young niggas on the come up can realize that there's multiple options. You don't have to sing. You don't got to be cloudy. You can just be nice. And there's room for you to make real money and have a real career out here.
You can be nice and say shit with conviction. You know what I mean? Right. Act with conviction. You know what I mean? Do shit with purpose behind it. You know what I mean? But believe, like if you're gonna make a move, make it with 100% of your conviction and your energy. Don't half-ass it. You know what I mean? Don't be like, let me 80% this because I still want to keep 20% of my foot in this little pool over here. You know what I mean? Just in case. Nah, fuck that shit. Like, do you and do it 100%.
That is 100% facts. Let's move on to the next topic. Kendrick leak. We know there's more of that verse to come. Shout out to, I think, was it AZ Chike that leaked it on or put it on his IG story? Am I mistaken?
Yeah, that's correct. That shit he deleted that shit.
Rookie mistake, champ. Or maybe it's all part of a bigger plan.
Hey,
Who knows?
I don't know, man. I can't imagine. Yeah, I can't imagine this just happening by happenstance. I just can't. I don't know. This is entirely too controlled of a rollout for this to just happen accidentally.
Absolutely. And speaking of that, we get into the rollouts. What we know wasn't happenstance was Pusha T taking a swipe at Travis Scott. Everybody hit the like button. hit the subscribe option, hit the notification bell. We need at least 500 likes on each and every video. We appreciate all the super chats that have been delivered thus far. Shout out to everybody. All support is appreciated. Guys, I got an issue though. We're gonna talk about the diss or whatever, but I got an issue, B. And I think we've talked about this in the past. Consider Rapside, as always, is the more mature person in these situations. And he always files everything under everything is a rollout. So I understand. But I think I've talked about this before, but for the new viewers, I'm gonna say it again. I am sick and tired of rollout culture. Why do we need to wait for you to have an album coming out for you to talk about things to get people to talk about your album? Like, cool. Maybe this thing did happen with Travis Scott, and maybe he did fall in his face and take some L's. But why the fuck is Pusha T randomly dissing Travis Scott out of left field in the midst of a rollout? Like, Pusha T and the Clipse don't need to talk about Travis Scott to get things moving. I understand that it's marketing. Let's be clear. I get it. I'm never talking from a position of ignorance. I get it. But I think it's fucking ridiculous. Travis Scott, you dissing him. You gotta Pusha T, you putting it to me. I fear that Pusha T's putting himself, because you ain't hear Malice talking about this shit. Is it a Pusha T album or is it a Clipse album? Now I'm confused because he's doing it on the media, right?
Oh, don't do that.
I'm doing that.
Don't do that.
Where the Malice interview at?
We know we know the two guys.
That's who we want to hear from. We ain't heard from him in 20 years.
I'm saying, but we know who's the one that is more media savvy. We know who's the one, not even just savvy. That we know who's the one that even wants to, be in the fucking limelight. What about Malice strikes you as wanting to be in the limelight and do all this rollout shit? Absolutely nothing. That motherfucker left the game and went, speaking at churches. Hold
on, hear me out, y'all. Don't do that to me. Just hear me out, y'all. Y'all included a round table in the chat. Hear me out.
Right now.
I'm just saying.
You got tomatoes?
I'm getting tomatoes. I'm just saying. I don't want Pusha T to be the guy that every time he's coming out now, he got to diss niggas to create conversation. And I feel like because of where we are in rap right now, he don't got to diss Travis Scott. Like, nigga, we don't even want to see that fade. Like right. Travis Scott. The nigga who took 10 minutes to walk to the ring at WrestleMania, we don't give a fuck about Travis Scott. Travis Scott still ain't answer for biting A$AP Rocky. The fucking, you know what I mean? Like, come on, y'all. Like, roll out. We got to roll out with this. Well, I mean, so be it not fire without the Travis Scott diss? Do we need the diss?
I think it's part of the. I don't know. I think it's part of the whole.
I'm putting up a poll. Did we need the diss?
I think it's part of the whole theme. I think. Solidified, stamped with an exclamation point by this Kendrick Lamar half a verse leak. It's about, being a rapper's rapper, you know what I mean? And staying in your fucking lane, you know what I mean? And I think, besides Coke, that's been the other underlying theme in all of Pusha T's music is you could have whatever lane you want and sell as many records as you want. You're not fucking with me with this pen. You know what I mean? Now, here's the thing. Here's the part where I think you might have
a point. Spinning right now. I'm gonna be honest, man. Let's say this.
No, here's the part where I think Jarv has a point. And I said as much in the chat. The statute of limitations on addressing this issue that happened in 2023, 2 years ago, is probably expired. You know what I mean? This shit happened 2 years ago. That issue that he has with the song Meltdown, you know what I mean? He came and played it at a studio session without the Drake diss verse, and all of a sudden it pops up with the Drake diss verse. Should he have an issue with that? Sure. Is it a huge issue? Probably something that's kind of just like, if it was me, it might get under my skin, but I might just be like, all right, that's just, bozos being bozos, whatever. But it also, on top of that, it happened 2 years ago. But that being said, we haven't heard from Pusha T in the past 2 years. And I think that he always had his, for lack of a better term, I feel like he always had his heart set on addressing it. I think that he was already predetermined to address this at some point whenever he came back out. with something. You know what I mean? We haven't heard from Pusha T since 2022, right? With It's Almost Dry. This happened the next year. We kept hearing about a Pusha T, some type of Pusha T project, whether an album or a mixtape, the fucking the Gangsta Grill shit that never happened. So had that happened, we probably would have heard about it there, but it didn't happen. The next thing you know, there's a Clipse album in the works, and I'm sure he was like, "All right, I'm gonna address this on this Clipse album." The Clipse album been in talks since last year. Right?
Yeah.
And we've been waiting for this shit to drop. It's been, we're still waiting on a feature verse, this, that, and the third. Next thing you know, it's a whole other year, and we're finally getting the album now. And I don't know. I just think he was already so determined to address this. Maybe the verse was already written up, and he was like, I don't want to scrap this verse down because it's too late. You know what I mean? I'm gonna speak my piece. I'm gonna get this off my chest, and I'm gonna keep it moving. And I'm thinking that's what's going on here.
All right, fair enough. Mesito, your thoughts. What are your thoughts? You heard where I stand. You heard where Sin stand. What do you stand on this situation?
You muted, bro.
Yo, you muted, gang. You muted.
My fault, y'all. I think Sin is giving a little bit of bail. I think there's multiple things at play here, right? Because Pusha T, it feels a little bit nasty. Why? Pusha T, this is somebody on every album. Here's Exodus, here's my album, here's Infrared, here's my album. You know what I mean? Pusha does this, but he doesn't go on a media run explaining the disses. That's the corny part to me. Niggas love to hear niggas dissing each other. Well, I love that. You know what I mean? But why do I need to hear a GQ interview about why you're dissing him? Right? The Def Jam thing makes sense. Why aren't you on Def Jam? If he isn't dissing Drake on the album, he has to explain. I'm not dissing a nigga who might sue me. You know what I mean? That makes sense. But why do I need a timed drop? Because as soon as the song came out, all of the interviews came out about why this came out. Oh, here, I talked to Pusha T. Here's what he had to say. That was a little bit corny, bro. I'm sorry. That was 50 Cent in his prime. We tied to that shit type energy. I'm gonna be honest here. So that part of it kind of, it turned me off a little bit, right? Listen, Push is right. Okay? I'm not arguing with him there. Yeah, Push is right. Travis is a fake nigga. He does this shit to everybody. He did it to Drake. He did it to Pharrell and Push. He did it to Kanye while Kanye was producing his album. Like, Travis is a snake, and this is what happens, right? So I'm not saying Push is wrong, but it's like this is Push is too nice for this. I'm gonna just say it like that. Pusha is too nice of a rapper to diss a nigga like Travis Scott, bro. I don't care about Pusha T. This is the Travis Scott. This is, you know what I mean? And for me, it feels like Pusha is the type of artist that, the Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant shit, where I need an enemy to inspire.
Hold on. 20-second timeout. 20-second timeout. Gotta see Moni in here trying to stir the pot. Moni, I see you. As you were, Mace.
I know. Well, I wanted them to talk on record, Moni. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Moni don't want to come on the rap round table. She's scared. We know the vibe. She want to go with her cousins where it's safe. She don't want niggas to argue back. I understand.
You feel me? So I don't want to hear Pusha interview about why he's dissing Travis Scott. To me, Pusha's the type of nigga who thrives on negative energy, bro. Who thrives on a nigga doing them wrong, and he gotta take his head off. So for me, I think the ultimate prize for Push was always Drake. But he showed up to the fucking warehouse and Stringer Bell was already fucking dead. So he had to do something else. You know what I'm saying? So he decided, who's the next bozo that did me wrong? Fuck it, Travis Scott. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, not for nothing. I would have kicked Drake back in anyway. Shit, why not?
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? You remember that meme? You remember that Michael Jackson meme when it was like, when you get in jumping, here go the nigga wearing the Timbs? Like, he should have just been the nigga wearing the Timbs. Fuck it. You know what I mean? But no.
And the thing is, go ahead. My fault, Job. Just to wrap it up, people are getting mad about it. I love this is on the records. Jobs say it all the time. Just fucking rap, nigga. We love to rap disses, bro. It just is. I didn't need to understand that. He came in although I love the monkey dance quote, I'm not gonna lie there. I'm gonna be saying that for the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying? Shiggy better stop. That's what I'm gonna say you do, bro. So I like that, but I'm just saying, Pusha. We talk about aura and we talk about this. Push is the type of nigga that this seems weird to me. You know what I'm saying? This is, I expect Drake to go to LeBron and ask him if he let him down. You know what I mean? That's his vibe, bro. You know what I mean? From Push, Push is an ice cold assassin. If he shot somebody, he not gonna tell you who sent the contract. That's the type of nigga I look at Pusha T like. So I just didn't like the energy of the drop this, the fucking article about why he dissed, and then the interview about the article about why he dissed. That just turned me off a little, to be honest.
I mean, I gotta agree with the chat and say you a little full of shit. Because when the Harper's Bazaar shit happened and they made a strong point, we was all salty about the Harper's Bazaar interview. So now we can't be mad at Pusha for doing an interview discussing why he dissed the nigga. I don't got no qualms with that. My qualm specifically is about him.
A little simplified.
That's what it is. We can't pick and choose what kind of interviews we want. We wanted Kenny to talk. We didn't even want Kenny to talk to Harper's Bazaar. We wanted Kenny to talk to fucking what's homie name out west? DJ Head. We wanted him to talk to DJ Head and Gina and talk about the disses.
Big boy.
So if you're telling me I'm gonna wake up on a random ass Tuesday morning and hear So Be It and Travis Scott's getting dissed by fucking Pusha T, you damn right I need an interview. Because why the fuck are you dissing this guy? So I gotta say you full of shit. You know what I mean? Because it's like, if you're going to get the rapper giving the interviews about the shit that he rapped about, I'm never questioning that. But dissing, Sincere kind of brought me back on board. If it's a situation where he was always going to talk about it, and it was supposed to be the Pusha T Gangsta Grills, and things kind of moved around and got a little weird behind the scenes, and then we got this Clipse album, I can understand that. Am I a little disappointed that he dissed Travis Scott before he dissed Jim Jones? A little, because Capo's really bugging the fuck out. But then I think, but then the maniac in me is like, this is him dissing Travis Scott before he'd even give time in the limelight to Jim Jones. Because he said he's gonna address Jim Jones on the album, but he refuses to give Jim Jones the energy of making Capo a part of his rollout. So I see both sides of it. Yeah. Now that I've gotten my gripe out of the way, I people they get in front of these microphones and they start saying some strange things. Bun B saying that Travis Scott's no slouch and he gonna respond or whatever the fuck he said. Like Bun B, you a legend, my nigga. I never on any day want to fix my mouth to say anything crazy about Bun B. He's one of my favorites. But OG Bun B, you're bugging the fuck out if you think in any arena involving rap that Travis Scott can say anything to Pusha T worth talking about. OG, you're bugging. Texas affiliations aside, so it's whack niggas in every zip code. Y'all, so what if he from Texas? Nah. I mean, like I don't even want to violate, but like, come on, like, are we serious here?
He gonna release some sneakers with Pusha T and the fucking line through it.
All he can do is drop some fucking memes. That's all Travis Scott can do in this situation, and it might work for him. But like Bun B saying that, crazy. And to push his point about not liking rappers that sing, I'm here with that. Because I feel like things got a little blurry. Every time I hear a nigga singing and they say new rapper, I get mad. That's not rap. Like all these niggas singing and using auto-tune, that's not rap to me. If you're not rhyming in a somewhat natural voice, making words connect, you harmonizing about your struggles in your neighborhood is not rap. I'm sorry. What's the fat nigga name that do all that shit? The fat depressed nigga Mace?
Who's that? Rod Wave?
If you doing that Rod Wave shit, that's not rap. I'm sorry. Give me BX the plug. I don't want Rod Wave. I'm sorry.
Rod Wave is a little much. I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, if you singing, like to me, Gunn is not a rapper. That's not rap.
Stop blurring the lines, man.
Shit. Mesito's too quiet. What's going on, bro?
I was running through this. I was running through the chat just now. I just was running through the chat.
You making the mistake of looking at that chat. I mean, they was throwing tomatoes at you earlier.
They listen. I'm used to it, y'all. What you mean?
Yo, but while we're here, how do we feel about the record itself?
Like what?
Yo, while we're here, how do we feel about the record overall? Because we haven't talked about it. You know what I mean? We never went on.
Excellent record.
Oh,
what are you
fine,
talking
yo.
about, bro?
So be it.
Who want to
Yeah.
cook? Listen,
shit.
bro.
Go ahead.
I
Go
haven't.
ahead.
This is the closest the Clipse have. Closest feeling the Clipse have given me to fucking Lord willing, grinding, like the marriage of excellent production, of excellent lyricism, combined with the chemistry of Malice and Push.
Yeah.
This raised my expectations for this album another level. When I heard this shit, I said, this is the hardest shit I heard all year, bro. You know what I mean? Like in Ace Trumpets, I liked. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, this is Clipse. This is cool. You know what I mean? Malice delivered a crazy, excellent verse. But this shit right here, bro, this shit right here, if they got 10 more of these, the C word might be close after that, bro. This was an epic record, bro.
I got a take on that. You know, tune into 126.
Episode 126 drops this Wednesday. Hot. We're bringing back unpopular opinions.
Yes.
And Sincere the Rap Snob has a take. For me, to answer Sin's question, this song is hard. This is like, if you telling me we getting Pharrell or we getting the Clipse, this is what I thought it was gonna be. I'm sorry, like Ace Trumpets is cool. Can I be truthful with y'all right now? I guess you could say it's an early unpopular opinion. It wasn't. I just thought of it right now, but I'm probably gonna skip that song in this album. I'm gonna play on the first couple of playthroughs. I'm gonna see if I like it within the scope of the album. But truth be told, right now, that's a skip for me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. That is a skip for me. But so be it.
So
like
be it.
That
gas.
when you make that, you know what I mean? Nigga, yo, and then the pop Malice.
Is that
the
gas?
pocket what they were. I mean, I'm a Pusha guy. But Malice cleared Push on So Be It, bro. Like, Malice is reinvigorated. Yes!
Oh, man.
Yes, he did, bro. Malice ate that. Honestly, Pusha needed to diss Travis Scott to get his lick back. Because the way Malice came through with that shit. Oh, my God. The thing is, you know, sometimes it's like when you hear a hard beats, we talk about it. Hard beats or hard raps. Like, Ace Trumpets wasn't that. Like, this right here, I can't remember the last time in this era of rap, we got a beat that's just hard with niggas just rapping and the shit. Right. Like you can hear the shit at your lunch table hard. Like that. This is that song. This should have been the lead single in the first place. We never needed Ace Trumpets, in my opinion.
Yeah. After this shit, I was like, did Chad pull Pharrell back, bro? Like, what the fuck is going on?
First thing I want to say is I wholeheartedly owe Pharrell an apology for saying that he needs to call Chad. Maybe you don't need to call Chad. You know what I mean? Maybe not. Maybe you're good. Maybe we just underestimated you. I mean, you know, we had heard a few records here and there, a few leaked beats, that shit that you was supposed to be giving Megan Thee Stallion. You know what I mean? That's all we had to go on. You know what I mean? So you have to understand, like, that's all we had to go on. We didn't know what you had up your sleeve for this Clipse album. So, please accept my apologies, because first and foremost, the beat on So Be It, that the choice of sample and then the flip on that sample, and then the reverse snare on the drums, that subtle touch, that
bro,
it just it all just fit together so perfectly, man. And then it's not even just the sample and the sample flip. The sample itself, the sound of that sample in the background just gives you a visual of what the video actually looked like. So by the time like you hear the song and then you see the video, it all connects so perfectly, thematically, sonically, aesthetically. And then Push and Malice sounding like they have not lost a single step in 15 years together. This is 10 out of 10, bro. This is the best, easily the best song I heard all year.
The drums on So Be It, that's the shit that we like. Like, that's when we was much younger, them type of drums, bro. And then when I heard, it was a video on X, Twitter, where they was performing it live and just hearing it with those live sonics, bro. That record right there is gonna last. That is the one, B. Like, it might not be no hit single, but for the niggas that like the shit that we like, So Be It is that. Like, honestly, I'm looking forward to all the nice niggas getting on that beat and dropping freestyles, doing something on that beat.
Yo.
It's tailor made for the nice niggas.
Yes.
I think Lloyd Banks already got one on that beat, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna find the link and send it over to y'all.
Every single person involved with that delivered, including the director, cinematographer of the video. That video was crazy with the big wall with the shadow. You know what I mean? While the other brother is there, right? Listen.
And that's the thing, right? This is pure hardcore hip hop. But I seen somebody on Twitter say, like, before the gentrification of rap, this the type of shit you used to hear in the club, bro. Like,
yes,
that
exactly,
shit is hard, bro. That shit is
exactly.
super hard.
That shit, as Sin talked about it, with some great cinematography, or you do the generic music video where you do like the club, they dancing in the club shots with some real dope lighting or different light effects, a la like the beginning of the Belly movie. Mad music videos used to look like that. You just get the chick dancing in slow motion, niggas fly, rapping. Bring all that shit back. Fuck that. I want my nostalgia vibe today. You know what I mean? But I'm looking forward to this Clipse album. I think that's gonna be the next real event in hip hop. It's gonna be the Clipse finally dropping that album. I'm definitely looking forward to that. So be it, fire. I'm a little disappointed in the Travis Scott diss, but at the same time, it came and it went. You know, people talked about it, then they moved on because Pusha T is better than dissing Travis Scott. I'm looking forward. I mean, Pusha T said, they said whips and chains. He might have talked to Jim, but I know in the interview, one of the first interviews of the Rollout, he mentioned that he addresses Jim Jones very specifically on his project. So I'm looking forward to that as well. This has been a quality rollout, with the exception of my gripe. With the exception of my gripe, it's been a quality rollout, and I know the album is gonna be fire. It's gonna, at the very least, the album is gonna spawn conversation because that's what great lyricists and great artists do. They create conversation. So I'm looking forward to that.
Travis Scott gonna respond with a Happy Meal.
Shit, nigga, just drop some sneakers. You know what I mean?
He gonna give Push a ticket to the next Astro World.
He gonna
come, bro.
He gonna sound like Quavo trying to respond to Chris Brown. Quite frankly, he better just leave this one alone. I'm gonna come clean. Shout out Quavo, but you was out of your depth, good brother. Quite frankly, another hot take? You know what I mean? Quavo losing to Chris Brown should tell y'all exactly why we was mad at niggas running shit for a minute, because that shouldn't happen.
Talk about it.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, if that don't explain, if that's not a microcosm of why certain niggas or certain regions being number one for mad long was a problem, that right there should tell you. Imagine R. Kelly's beating Jay-Z in the rap battle in 2000.
Because like motherfuckers, they only had that one skill set, and it got him over. They got over on that one skill.
I wonder what the skill set was, though. Sam.
You know what I mean? I'm just saying they only had that one turnaround jumper, or they only had that one post, but they didn't have a bag to go into. So when when shit got hot and motherfuckers got this, and all of a sudden, oh shit, like I got a rap, they didn't know what the fuck to do. You know what I mean?
Step back that got outlawed. They outlawed travel to the NBA, man. None of that shit, James Harden.
That park shit don't work. You got bodied by a dancing nigga, man. I love Quavius, but god damn, you know what I mean? But I digress. Let's move on. Mesito to the front of the class, good sir.
Get it.
Cicada Rap Snob drops a video in the group chat that was very viral of your guy, Champagne Poppy,
for sure,
Aubrey, man with no shape up until about 15 years old, Drake, grifting it up with Morgan Wallen.
Oof.
What the hell is this? Explain this to me. Like, is this his new? He's gonna drop a country album now? Is this the next wave?
I agree with your verbiage, Jaw. Grifting, absolutely.
Okay,
I agree with that, but I disagree with the type of grifting that is being posed. You see how you automatically said grifting? He want a country act. He wants some clout. He wants somebody that's more famous than him. For sure, I'll take that. You know what I mean? I take that. But this whole like thing that they're trying to do, which is to attribute Drake to MAGA and attribute Drake to Republicans.
The nigga right next to you attributed Drake to MAGA. What do you mean?
He was the first one. That's why he was the first one. They ain't stopped since. This whole weird thing that people have going on to further make this issue between Drake and Kendrick seem like good and evil, like, you know, we're on the right side, they not like us. it's more part of that propaganda. Is he grifting? Of course. Drake is in the mode right now where he's grifting with Morgan Wallen. He's grifting with Sabrina Carpenter. He's grifting with Olivia Rodrigo. He's grifting right now, bro. He needs friends. He just got told you are not a part of the culture. So he's trying to find his footing somewhere, right? He's finally doing songs with Canadian artists. He's fucking, that's Drake's move right now. That's why he's cheesing in his denim Wranglers on the stage with Morgan Wallen. Absolutely. You know what I mean? He needs
wasn't that the Canadian tuxedo?
Oh shit.
Right. He wore the Canadian tux. It might have been an ode to Kendrick. So yeah, like is he grifting? Is he trying to you know, Morgan Wallen, if you don't know, is that he's to what Taylor Swift is for streams. Morgan Wallen's that for radio. Go look at Morgan Wallen's radio numbers. He's the top radio artist, top 2, top 3 radio artists in the country right now. So Drake need that push. You know what I mean? Drake might be Howdy Doody on his next fucking album for sure. But this whole weird thing where they trying to say that Drake is supporting MAGA. Drake is a Trump guy. Drake is Canadian. I don't care what Canadians think about American politics, first of all, but I don't even think that that's the case, bro. Like the Morgan Wallen grifting is a hip hop thing. Let's be honest, right? Because even I was unaware of this. Everybody knows about the Little Durk song with Morgan Wallen because there was similar people upset, right? There were people upset about that also. Like, damn, Durk, you didn't know that bro did that? Durk didn't care. He still did the song. You know what I mean? Whatever. But when I started, I seen Wiz Khalifa clips and I seen Young Jeezy clips, and I'm like, is Morgan Wallen the hip hop grifter? Why does Morgan Wallen have these random rappers on stage with him singing some song that they clearly don't even know the fucking lyrics to? So yeah, I get the game. I get the propaganda game. I get, you know, how you want to feel like your side is the right side, the good side. You're fighting to be valiant. I understand it. But it's getting weird, guys. It's getting a little bit weird with the whole Drake is MAGA thing, bro. I would be honest, because when you look up the details of who supports who and what artists have donated to what causes and what artists have made what statements, you might get a little upset. I'll just say that.
I digress. Since they're the rap snob, the floor is yours.
I'm more convinced than ever that Drake is eventually he's gonna pull up alongside 40. What number is he? 45, 47? You know what I mean? He's gonna pull up next to old Cheeto. Like I see it. I fully see it more than ever now. Here's the thing. Like ever since Kendrick said, we don't want to hear you say the N-word no more, either with an A or a hard ER. Drake has not been the same. And the part about all this is that I was trying to articulate all of these things for years. And I think like even on the last live, like I was talking about, like there was for the longest time, there was like an element of him. There was like a certain characteristic of him that I couldn't put my thumb on. I couldn't put my finger on pause, but it was just something, you know what I mean? And that something is that you give it enough time and with the right setting and with the right, you know, snowball effect, he was always going to end up here. You know what I mean? He was always going to end up next to some country guy that you know is talking about get me back to like God's land or whatever the fuck he says. That you know, get me away from these fucking, you know, these fucking city folks. Let me get back to like God's country. You know what I mean? Where I could say the hard ER in peace and without having to have somebody try to cancel me or some shit. Not that he said all that, but we all know what the fuck he was trying to say. We all know the underlying tone of get me back to God's land or God's country or whatever the fuck he said. And here comes fucking Aubrey in the midst of his most unstable footing in the culture ever. And he decides, and this is the part that bothers me. It's like he decides to double down on aligning himself with these type of folks. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's either he's doing it to troll, to be like, you know what I mean? I'm just, they're already mad at me. I'm just gonna make them even angrier. Or this is really, you know, these are really his type of people. He generally fucks with these type of people. He fucks with an Aiden Ross, who's also right up, you know, under Trump's arm and shit. So neither one of those things are things that I want to see out of who the person who has been the biggest hip hop star, you know, before Kendrick took him out. I don't want to see him, you know, I don't want to see the biggest hip hop star align himself with, you know, the XQCs and the Aiden Rosses and now the Morgan Wallens and all of these type of folks. But if he is doing it just to piss people off, I don't want to see that either. You know what I mean? Because it's like he doesn't stand for anything, right? This is the exact same shit that Kendrick was saying on Meet the Grams. Like you never gave us nothing to believe in. You know what I mean? And so like that's where he's at now. He's happy being the megastar that he is with the millions of dollars that he has. You know what I mean? He's worth millions upon millions, probably close to $1 billion, if not there. You know what I mean? You know, gambling and losing millions of dollars at a time and not having, you know, not having it phase him in the least. And just living a fucking general degenerate life where he doesn't have to care about anything. You know what I mean? He sure as hell doesn't care about the culture because now he's of the mind of, oh, you know, rap is weird now. So since rap is weird now, let me go, you know, cuddle up next to this country motherfucker that has no problem saying the hard ER. I only want to be able to say it with the A. Let me say it with the A, but let me go and deal with the motherfucker that says the hard ER. You know what I mean? No, get every last ounce of this shit. Get it the fuck away from me, bro. This is exactly why this motherfucker should not have been such a big voice in the culture to begin with.
You know, Sincere made a lot of strong points. And again, we go back to that video, you know, and Sin references it often, and rightfully so. That whole "it's ignorant" video, and then the other video where he used the ER instead of the A version when he was much younger. You know, a few times he kind of showed us that he a little white boy. And of course, I talked about many times, and I'll bring it up again for those who are not familiar. If you grew up as a young black kid in any neighborhood and you had a little fro or any kind of haircut and you didn't have a shape up, you had the natural hairline with the curls. Even our Hispanic bros in New York City, they had their shape ups, gang. Like that told me everything I needed to know about Aubrey. He ain't have a shape up. Like y'all can say I'm joking, but I'm dead ass. No young black kid is leaving out that barber chair without his lineup and a little part too, my nigga. He had the fro, the regular generic fro. I ain't gonna say the other piece. The YT fro. Yeah. Thank you, Tip. The YT fro. So it is what it is. You know? But I'm not gonna kick Drake's back in on this one. You know? I'm not supporting anything that Macito said. I mean, if you got receipts about Kendrick supporting things that might make him look funny in the light, and you got the research and you did the knowledge, please bring it to the table. Don't threaten us, Mace. Provide it. If not,
I meant Drake. Okay. I wasn't even referring to Kendrick.
Okay. But you know what? You know what I'm gonna do tonight with this one? I'm not gonna give grace, but I'm gonna say that if Drake has never really loved rap or all of the noise that comes with rap, he loves the women. We know that. He loves the groupies. He loves them a large-breasted woman. We know this about Aubrey. He's made that very clear. But I don't think he's ever fully embraced. We've talked about it many times. Last week's episode, we talked about his entire villain arc. We know what it is. So if he shows up with Morgan Wallen after crying about rap for the last 6 months and his rap is weird and he's with Aiden Ross, if he's finally decided to take off the mask and quote be with his people in God's country, yeah, fuck nigga, go over there. I'm okay with that. Like, stop trying. In fact, if this is the first steps of Aubrey retiring the hip hop cosplay and getting completely the fuck out of here when it comes to rap and dapping it up in the Canadian tuxedo with this guy and and that guy and the only black guys that are around him are his OVO gang, I'm with that 150%. Stay the fuck over there. So you know what? If this is phase one and he wants to grift, and if that grift leads to him trying to do his Sade vocals on some country beats, yes, I'm here for it. I'm here for it just as much as I can't wait for LeBron to retire. Like if I could get Drake and LeBron because they're the same guy, if I could get Drake and LeBron out of my life on a regular basis, two guys who are who are corny beyond belief, but they're famous. If I could get them out of my life, out of my algorithm, and they move on to another person's algorithm, yes. So Consider Raps now, he's 100% right. But if Drake is deciding to go with his people, the people that he's the most comfortable with, I can't be mad at that. More, please. Drop the country album. Matter of fact, let's make the trade. Matter of fact, I'm Jarv Kupchak, right? And you're Mesito Dolan. And I'm proposing a trade. I will give you Drake, and you give me Shabuzi. It's a fair trade. Let's do it. I'll throw in some draft picks. Who you want? Matter of fact, I'll throw in Sexy Red. Who else do I want to throw in? Who's another bullshit rapper?
Yachty.
I'll give you a little Yachty. And the next TikTok artist as a draft pick that we don't know, they don't exist yet. That's the draft pick. I will give you that as the draft pick. The next biggest TikTok artist you want. All I want is Shabuzi.
Sold. I haven't heard his second song yet. So,
you know what I mean? If Shabuzi's a black guy,
then maybe I'll regret it.
Shabuzi's a black guy. He makes country music. They don't treat him nicely in the country world. So come over here. You can still make your country music, but you will have the black delegation, the hip hop delegation behind you. You can take Drake, Lil Yachty, Sexy Red, and a draft pick. That's a fair trade. Fuck out of here. Let's move on, y'all. Mesito, we need your industry qualifications. Chat, let me know. Is that a good trade? Chat, let me know.
Somebody in the chat, I can't find it now. Somebody in the chat said that it wasn't Drake that said rap is weird. It was Aiden Ross. I just want to make it clear. It was Drake, and it wasn't even on Aiden's stream. It was when he was with XQC. He said something about rap music is weird now anyway. He said it kind of in passing, but he did say it on the XQC stream. So, you know what I mean?
There you go. Nah, Baylor, we not throwing Wayne in that trade. Wayne, at least Wayne, say what you want about Wayne, but Wayne is hip-hop through and through. So we keeping Lil Wayne. And if y'all crying about what I said about Braun, go to hell. I don't care. Cardi B announces today that her album is on the way. Finally, the album that Joe Budden said would never come out. But in the midst of this rollout, you guys provided links to the group chat that said that songs that are nearly 5 years old will be connected to this album, and she's getting industry accolades or Billboard accolades about records ahead of time. Mesito, help me understand. You're the industry guy. Break this down to me. And I want to know one thing, and I'm sure Sid wants to know. Is this good business or is this industry manipulation?
Industry manipulation for a couple of reasons. These chart data posts were clearly like PR posts directly from Cardi's team. Album announcement. Oh, Cardi's album is already platinum. Oh, Cardi's album has 2 number 1 hits like Cardi's last number 1 album. Clearly, industry fucking propaganda, rigmarole, all that shit, right? And you know, to be real, people have largely stopped using this technique because Billboard changed the rule, right? Once upon a time, French Montana could drop Unforgettable and his first album be platinum on the first day. You know what I mean? Even though Unforgettable came out a year before the album. And literally, I believe French Montana was the reason they made this rule. If y'all know different, I remember that French Montana was the reason, was the straw that broke the camel's back. French Montana went platinum in the first week. You know what I mean? So they changed the rules, right? So even though she has these records on the album, the first week sales won't be counted towards, right? So she's not going to have, 5 million first week sales and shit, right? But for the album certifications, for the album platinum. The songs are on the album, right? So you can go to Billboard, or you can't, not Billboard, you can go to RIAA and file for your album to be certified platinum, because technically it sold this many units, this album's on there, right? That is industry manipulation. And to me, what it shows is that Cardi really doubts this album. You know what I mean? She really don't think that she got anything going on this album. The outside single, you know, I seen it was #1 on Apple Music. I didn't actually hear anybody playing it, but it's this is the type of shit that people are fed up with, right? The fake #1s, the manipulated shit. Back in the day, you know, I don't fucking know. You knew In the Club was fucking #1 because you couldn't go outside without hearing the fucking In the Club anyway, right? Nowadays, you have these hit songs, these hit albums, these hit records that you've never fucking heard. And now you have Cardi, who has been flopping with every single since those singles 5 years ago. WAP went crazy and Up went crazy. If you're watching Cardi, other than her guest verses, I'm talking about her singles, all them shits have flopped ever since. So she has to go 5 years back to find singles that someone likes. So it's just, you know, in her never-ending battle with Nicki Minaj, you know, they want to show who got more plaques, they want to show who's platinum, they want to show who's moving needles. She kind of got to do this, right? And the people who like Cardi, her fans, are gonna say, "Oh, this is a savvy move. This is smart." No, this is corny, bro. You listening to that album with them 5-year-old songs on there? We know Cardi's popular. Most of us don't even care about the number that Cardi does, but this is just like it makes people even more like done with the game. It makes people even more disgusted. It makes people not believe anything that's going on even more. It's kind of nasty to me. I'm not gonna lie. This to me, Job, this is like if fucking Can't Knock the Hustle was on a Blueprint, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine that shit, bro. Come on. What was the thing
with Foxy again?
Ain't no nigga.
You remember?
Ain't no nigga on the Black
album. Ain't no
album.
nigga. It was on the Black album. Smash hit in '96.
Imaginary Players featured on Kingdom Come. What the fuck?
I mean, Hov kind of did do that. Man, let's go back in time. Ignorant Shit dropped in like what? 03? Black Album dropped 03.
03, yeah.
And Ignorant Shit was on motherfucking American Gangster. So
this is true.
It's not unprecedented.
It's not. Job got a point. It's not unprecedented. I thought that was a mixtape track.
You're right.
It wasn't an official song. It was a mixtape track. It didn't get no fucking certifications.
Right.
No platinum, no gold, no nothing. You ain't even heard it on the radio, bro.
You're right. I tried it.
We didn't have, 1,000,001 think pieces, including from this very podcast, about a song called WAP.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and here's, I want to say something, and I want to say it with the self-reflection of knowing that it might just be me that is old and kind of like out of the loop in a lot of ways, especially when it comes to a lot of mainstream music. But that WAP, it had its moment 5 years ago. Is that a song that people consider like, yo, man, like I want to listen to this song again because it meant something to me. You know what I mean? Or let's throw this on at the barbecue or at the cookout or at the function because like that's a classic song. It was, to me, shouts to Jarv because he's brought up this sort of argument before, this distinction. Was it a classic song or just like a classic moment? You know what I mean? And to me, that WAP was a moment. It was a very big moment, but that's what it was, and it stayed in that moment. I don't see people clamoring to re-listen to that song 5 years later. You know what I mean? Up is another one.
The young girlies now that's popping, not even trying to make no WAP. They don't gotta make a WAP.
You know what I mean? And so like, if I felt like, oh, Cardi made this song that she feels very strongly about, like on some artistic integrity shit, and it's like, yo, like I made this classic song, I want to put it on my album because I feel like it belongs on this album, it fits it. But we know that's not what's going on because like that's not what this song is, and that's not how a Cardi B. You know, that's not how she moves. That's not how she operates. You know what I mean? This is like just shameless industry bullshit. Same thing with Up. Up, honestly, I'm not even that upset about Up. Up, I could almost see like, all right, like that was kind of a joint. You know what I mean? You want to throw it on the album, cool. You know what I mean? But WAP, bro, like, get out of here, man. Like this is just you just stacking. You just want to pad your numbers. Yep. You know what I mean? Shouts to Russell. You're the Russell Westbrook of fucking female rap, bro. Get out of here.
Russell Westbrook.
That's brutal, bro.
Get out of here, bro.
I don't know if that's disrespectful to Russ or Cardi at this point. Like, whoa.
Fuck out of here.
Russ got MVP.
Perfect analogy, though.
You know what I mean? Damn.
You know what I mean?
Damn it, son. Jadorian, I capitalized it because if you don't agree, if you think Ace Trumpets is not a skip, great. I don't care. To me, it's a skip. If the rest of the chat, if 1,000 niggas is in this chat and I'm the only nigga that thinks it's a skip, you think it's gonna stop me from hitting the skip button? You know what I mean? It is what it is. But when it comes to Cardi B,
shit,
I guess.
God damn, Up was 2021.
Yes.
Shit.
Bro, both yes. Is old as hell.
That's why she kept getting so mad at Joe, because Joe kept saying, "Bro, this album not coming out." It ain't like she ain't have bangers. Like if Cardi would have dropped this album in 2022, she'd have had another boss on her hands.
Right.
Yeah.
So LP, have you been working on your voice lessons to get a little more bass? Nah. All right. But anyway, I guess for me, to quote Jay-Z, you should buy it. It's good business, I guess, right? Like that's the only logical explanation for this, because it's like this is borderline embarrassing, no? Like if you're not like a Cardi B fan and you just like us, casual observers, and you see some shit like this is embarrassing. Like you can only be part of the Barty gang and think this is a great idea. Right. And a matter of fact, when I'm done on this stream, I'm gonna go to the internet and I'm gonna find all of the Barty gang people and see what they're saying, because they can't be sanctioning this. This is embarrassing. This is like coming out of jail wearing your old drip. Niggas done changed their outfits mad time. How you gonna pull this move? Like how you pulling this maneuver? And like you playing it out?
She pulled out the throwback jersey in 2010.
Yes. You got the throwback jersey dress. Like what we doing?
Oh.
Like, bro, a 5-year-old record and a 4-year-old record. Like, come on, bro. Like, I can't sanction this. I understand the business aspect of it, and Macito made a good point. I think there's a lot of fears about what this album won't be, that you have to hold it up with 2 years, because you're playing. It's so ridiculous that you're playing the nostalgia game as a relatively new act on a new album. You got to rely on 4 and 5-year-old nostalgia when female rap, women's. Let me not. Matter of fact, because female has a weird connotation, so I don't want to put that on me or the pod. Women's rap is in such a different space right now that you're relying on that again on the mainstream. Because we're not great at Cardi on the underground scale. So to even mention like a Shea Noir, it's not a waste of time. They're not in the same category. They don't play. This is like in soccer. They have different leagues in soccer. Like I'm saying, these two are in 2 different leagues. So if I'm looking at Glorilla, and I'm looking at
Doechii. Yeah, no. Glorilla.
I'm looking at rap because I'm giving Rhapsody. I think Rhapsody is someone. She in a lower tier, but niggas know who Rhapsody is. Rhapsody can't go to McDonald's. In my opinion, she can't go to McDonald's. Maybe it's in Middle America in the flyover stage, she can go to McDonald's. But in the big markets, niggas know who Rhapsody is, right? This is not where the league is anymore. All of the young women out here who are making music, they making highfalutin music, or if they making the quote ratchet music, there's depth to the ratchet music. Then you have a Doechii who's landing right in the middle of the highfalutin and the ratchet shit. So where's your lane at? The old shit, the old pussy bars. Your new single came out and you still you sound like you in a time loop, like you still doing the same things. Like at the very least, if you're gonna be an artist, and I think it's Cardi B's first album, to me, Cardi B benefited from having a smash hit while also being kind of an underdog, because her story was phenomenal. Cardi B, we all in real time when Invasion of Privacy dropped, everybody wanted Cardi B to win. great personality. Shit, if I met Cardi right now, I would love to break bread with Cardi. Crack joke. She's as New York gets. As far as if you ever met a New York girl, it's Cardi B. You know what I mean? Funny as hell. Could be attractive, but could be funny as hell. Could be one of the bros. Could be whatever you want to be. She could be that. You know what I mean? But in this time, once you gain that fame and that popularity, and you get movie opportunities and shit like that, megastar, that follow-up LP has to deliver. And she's kind of ran away from that sophomore slump. So to now rely on your old work while the league or the game low-key is passing you by, this is a dangerous maneuver. And I think that she runs the risk outside of her fan base, which has been diminishing. Sorry to say it. Because the people who might like her, they found other, even Megan Thee Stallion, her shit is diminishing. Megan Thee Stallion on the most popular reality show now. That's where we at. Rock Nation, they're going to get this bread out of you one way or the other. They don't pay for it. Love Island, you on Love Island? You know what I mean? So it's like, while the new era is passing you by, you looking like Kareem in 89, my nigga. They running the fast break, and you jogging up behind. You better get some new writers, pick some different beats, really properly look at the industry landscape and see shit. Fuck, instead of putting out WAP, go be forward thinking right now. Go get Doechii, go get Glorilla, because you and Glorilla have a classics record together that was a Glorilla song, and make some fire.
Right.
What are we doing here? Because right now it's looking like this album is gonna do like Wayne numbers first week, maybe 110, 115. She can have whatever record she wants, but it's not going to stick. And then we're going to go right back to, what's Glorilla going to drop again? When is Doechii going to drop again? Or there's a new artist that's coming out right now. What's she talking about? Oh, she might be dope too. Like, we just don't care. And I hate that for Cardi, because I want Cardi to continue to win. But Maysito. Now, I've never watched Love Island, to be fair. But again, I'm on Twitter. You don't, to me, with Twitter, you don't have to watch shows. Twitter tells you everything that's going on. I found out she was on Love Island through Twitter. You know what I mean? But
I avoid that show with all my strength.
T Blacks, the T Blacks, the Travis Scott rule is the bundles rule. The French Montana rule is what's going on with this album. You cannot put songs on your album and expect that to go to the first week. Travis rule is bundles. Somebody was asking what's the difference between the rule changes and the Billboard.
No, I appreciate it. I'd rather them ask questions than curse us out. But to me, she's still signed to Atlantic. So to me, this Maysito, this also feels like another one of those nasty games that Atlantic loves to play. Like, why are they so shameless over there? Why are they so Berg over there at Atlantic Records?
Listen, man, I don't know why before, but I know from you know, the Grangers have taken over at Atlantic. Like, there's no more Julie Greenwald, there's no more Kevin Lyles, no more Leor. Like, the Grangers have had their, you know, their hostile takeover continues. You know what I'm saying? So right now, that's the word, that when they got to Atlantic, when they looked at the records, they kind of were like, yo, Cardi, like, we not on you. We not about to do with you with the last, you know, head of whatever it did with you. You know what I mean? So I don't know if that means you got to drop, because they were alluding, you know, the people who talk about those type of things were alluding that she might be shelved. You know what I mean? That was what they were saying. So maybe this is like you better put that album out, and you better put them old songs on there. We got to recoup you. So I can see that being the case, because Atlantic has taken over, and they've, you know, a lot of people either got dropped, the Meek Mills of the world, you know what I mean? Those type of niggas, the Kodaks of the world, or moved to little smaller record labels. And, you know, Cardi being, you know, even though it's only one album, it was an album that was out of this world, Grammy winning, high selling, all type of shit. So in my opinion, for my, you know, I'm not gonna say highly known, you know, the way I see these things, I think that they came to it and said, listen, you either gonna drop this shit or you ain't dropping nothing. So I think that's what's going on at Atlantic right now. They are shady. We know this. The Grangers. This is actually Lucian's using his son to run Atlantic now. The baby Grange. The Grange who had signed 6ix9ine and signed all of those dudes, brought all of those dudes into the game, the Trippie Reds.
So the CIA nigga.
He's running Atlantic now. Good luck.
You know what? Because I think Shorty that was on the Breakfast Club, I think she might have reported it doing one of them rumor shows. But she was like, there was some concerns for Cardi with the new team in Atlantic. So now that you're saying this, it kind of makes sense now. Because everyone that she worked with when Invasion of Privacy dropped are no longer working at Atlantic. So she has a whole new team around her. So that kind of makes sense. You get caught up in industry politics. Maybe she'll end up at Rock Nation next, because everyone keep talking about Jay-Z. She was at the Beyonce show in Paris when Hov pulled up and the camera panned to her. She was in the section with the Knowles family.
That's
So
fire.
maybe she drifting up the block to the nation. She unlike Nicki Minaj, Cardi B knows where the bread is buttered. She's not gonna say nothing too crazy about Jay-Z.
Coke rent incoming is what you're saying?
Might be, might be. You know. Well, let's get up out of here. Let's read these super chats and let's get up out of here, y'all. It's been a fun live. Shout out to everybody. If you haven't by now, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe option, hit the notification bell. Let's get to these super chats. Cam Cobain with a $5 holler says, I think we're getting another K-Dot album by the end of the year. Shit, we'd love to see it. Derek Matthews says, Kendrick push Ransom Malice Sims top 5 right now. Y'all always putting Little Sims in all these conversations. I'm going to have to really do the knowledge on Little Sims. Jermaine O. Johnson says, I personally don't like rappers that don't rap. Agreed. Shout out Pusha T.
Salute.
BTG in the building says, more champagne spilling, so be it. Yeah. What a line. What a line. Cam Cobain says that Gen scheme is the craziest scheme I heard in a minute. I mean, I've been listening to too much Ransom to get blown away by the Gen scheme. I'm sorry, guys. It's a tough scheme. But I listened to too much Ransom.
It is fire. Somebody was asking in the chat if we specifically talked about it. I mean, we talked. I know I mentioned the alliteration in the verse. You know what I mean? And if you know what alliteration means, then you know that's what I was referring to. So
facts.
Yeah.
Also, for those asking about Jim Jones and Nas and all of that, we talk episode 126 drops this Wednesday. For everyone who needs a Jim Jones fix, tune in this Wednesday. You'll get it there.
Who needs a Jim Jones fix?
Derek Matthews says, name a better trio than Kenny and Clipse.
That's modern.
We have to talk about. That's a topic. That's a topic out there.
Name a better duo than just the Clip. Let me not.
We tried that before, and they told us outcasts.
Well, they're gonna have to say it again anyway. 126 dropping Wednesday.
126. Zig says Kenny did say he would trade a lot of niggas for Nip. Great lyrics breakdown. Rap round table genius. Salute Zig's home team. Jermaine O. Johnson says, F it. I'm saying hobnob the rest of the year. Hilarious. Humble Bragger says, on Meltdown, Drake was directly dissing Pusha T. While people seem to forget that. It wasn't a Pharrell diss. I mean, whoever he was playing, whoever names he want to play with, Kendrick jumped into the fight also because Drake was trying to play with Pharrell. Do remember.
Humble Bragger. He said he would melt down Pharrell's chains, bro.
Come on, what are you talking about? Jermaine L. Johnson says, so be it, and Ross the Boss had a similar sound. No, they don't. No, it's two different worlds. Sammy with a $5 high says it's popular to hate Drake. Drake has had Morgan in his video 3 years ago. Nobody cared. Now it's a problem, and I don't even like dude, but come on. It's a problem. See, y'all always try to play this to quote Sin, the what bottoms or well, actually, it's all about the timing of it all, my friend. We never talk about the action more so it's about the timing and the framing of it. Drake been in the shit list for a minute now. He's been bouncing around all of these white dudes. That's the point. I digress. And Morgan Wallen is popping right now. He might be more popping than Drake right now when it comes to charts. Do the knowledge.
And it's really like it's about connecting all of the dots. You know what I mean? And every single dot that Drake is putting down for us to connect for him leads in one direction.
Right.
You know what I mean? With them folks over there.
Them folks over there. That's gonna be one of our next shirts, by the way. Them folks over there. It'd be a little indie for those that know. Humble Bragger, $10 holler says, you scared of the 6, your bodyguard called wreck on the fluke. Now you want to inherit the shit. I melt down the chains I got from your boss. I don't care about that heritage. Shit, he talking to Pusha T.
That's both of them to me, Bragger. That's both of them to me.
So who's chains? Whose chains is he talking about?
He bought the chain. Anyway. God, you know what it is? You know what I don't like? Semantical arguments.
Yeah.
So we'll split the difference. It's talking to both of them. Okay? T Black says, I was looking for the pod last week and y'all failed me. We dropped last Monday. What are you talking about?
What you mean, bro?
Dropped last Monday at the same time.
Yeah.
What happened?
Like, it's right there. Go click. As a matter of fact, before you leave here, click on our page and you will see last Monday's live is right in front of your face, T Blacks. Right. Knowledge. Everyone was there except you, apparently. You know what I mean? But let's get up out here. Last but not least, before I wrap, I just want to just give y'all a couple of updates on the polls. Did we need the Travis Scott diss? 372 votes. 56% of the people say yes, we needed that. Jameer L. Johnson says, I will bet $100 on that last super chat that he told Jim to get off his lawn on 126.
Don't take that.
Tune
bet.
in to find out.
Don't take that bet.
And then I had the other poll here that I dropped 17 minutes ago. Is that a good trade? 64% of the people said yes. Sincere Raps, hey, that's legendary. Sincere Raps, now take us home, man.
Yes. For job, the point guard, Mesito, voice of the young people, the industry, and your mother's mother. Deanie the Balance, who had the jet. I am Sincere the Rap Snob. We are the Rap Roundtable, and we are out of here.
Sir, hit the like button on your way out. Look for us next Monday.